All right, gang. This is gonna be, I think, interesting. At least I hope so, because I'm making a video for you about it. So I'm about to try something that many others have done, but I haven't done yet, and that is do a park rove that is pretty ambitious. The biggest park rove I've done, I think, was 5 parks, and they were all incredibly close together, so not a terrible challenge there. It took me maybe 5 hours to get it done. However, this one is 11 parks. They are close together, but they're farther apart than the last rove I did. And I have never been there before. At the other rove that I've done is an area that I'm very familiar with, so it took no planning whatsoever to get it done. This one, I am not in any way familiar with it. The only way I have of getting familiar with it is overheads with Apple Maps and Google Maps. And I'm going to plan it all out. I'm going to take you guys through it. This may end up being 2 videos because, well, you know, attention spans, right? So let's see what it takes to get an 11 park roam done or rove done. And let's see if I'm actually successful at it. I haven't tried anything quite this ambitious. And to be clear, I know that there are people out there that have done way more parks than that in a day. I'm just showing you my end of it, see how it goes. Let's get to it. So I have scripted what I expect my plan to be. I may even insert it in here right now. That's just a plan, right? No plan survives contact with the enemy, and neither does this one. This is just a very strong suggestion. So follow along with me on the plan, and let's get my gear actually checked out, and then get my car loaded out and ready for this roam. Today is Wednesday what the heck is it? Wednesday the 7th. I'm going to attempt to do this this coming Saturday. I'm going to load it all out and see how this all goes. Okay, so this is how the back of my car is most of the time. I normally have my DX Commander Expedition in there. It looks like a mess, but believe it or not, I have it set up in such a way that it just extends and everything is ready. About the only thing I need to do is line up the plates. And if I line up the plates with the driven plate, everything comes back around. 310 stakes for the DX Commander Expedition. I don't know how much I'm going to get to use this antenna for this rove. I would love to use it all the time, but the rove on Saturday is all about activate and get out. So the put up and take down time that this is going to take, unless I find myself with extra room and time, I'm not going to use it, right? But I have it with me just in case. Part of the setup is also feed line over here and radials over there. So I have everything ready that I need to operate right out of the gate, right? My Parachute Mobile pack also lives in the back of my car. I took the 706 Mark II-G out of there a couple of weeks ago. I got this 857. I've done a couple of parks activations with it. Pretty good so far. I want to take it on the road and see how it does. I'm actually lending my 706 to a newly licensed general for him to get his HF wings going until he gets his, I think he's planning on buying an 891, I think. In any case, this is going to be my backup radio. I have my Bioenno there. I will move it to the front in a minute, but it is charged. I literally just took it off the charger and put it in the pack. So what I expect to be my primary antennas for this are going to be infrared half waves. In my pack is my Pactena infrared half wave with the feed line for it, and I'm adding a couple more to the lineup. Second antenna in there is going to be my KM4ACK kit infrared half wave. I've flown this a few times, but I don't fly it as often because of the extra amount of wire required for 40. So this is it's going to be my 40 meter antenna if I need to. This is a K6ARK SO239 infrared half wave. I don't know if this is the very first one, but Adam sent this to me about a year ago, I think. So if it's not the first one, it's certainly pre going to the Amazon route. This one's actually built by him. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the time, I'm going to make the time to cut a new antenna wire for it and put a bullet receptacle on it. Let's see, where is it? There we go. So that I can have this as a backup antenna. Maybe I might even use it as a primary. Just depends on how the tuning goes this week. So in order to be fast about my deployments, my intention is to have the end-fed half waves basically ready, and then I'm going to put one end on a telescoping mast and the other end on another telescoping mast. These are just fishing poles. These are both, this is a 20-footer, this is a 16-footer. I just want to have the ability to string the wire horizontally, since that's how I tuned both of these antennas. Yeah, they'll work in a slope, not a big deal. The SWR is not crazy, but I have the ability to use this, so why not? Okay, so my plan to stay warm is pretty simple. Stay in the car as much as possible. So I'm going to set up the radio on the center split of the back of my car, and I'll operate from either this seat or that seat. More than likely it'll be this seat. It just depends on how the parking is wherever I'm going. But wherever it's at, the radio will be there, and I'm going to take my 7300 as my primary radio. So I'm going to set that up there. I'm not going to do that right now. That'll be the last thing I do, because I want to keep my 7300 running for FT8, and I do FT8 sporadically, so I'll do that last. But that's where the radio's going to go. Okay, so let's map out this route. So let's go to pota.app. I'm going to start here. I'm staying in Nashville the night before, so on Friday night I'm staying in Nashville. So let's see how long it takes to go from there to there. From Nashville to Crooked Creek, 12.7 miles and 20 minutes. So I'm not going to bore the living daylights out of you with the rest of this, but basically I'm going to check the mileage from all parks to the next park, and so on and so forth, and all the way back to where I'm staying. And then I'm going to go over each park looking for places where I can set up, and getting an idea of how I'm going to set up so that I can maximize my time on the radio instead of maximizing my time on setup. So obviously this is very much sped up. I'm using Google Maps to get the distances for all the parks, and I'm using Google Maps then to get overhead imaging of all the parks that I'm going to and where I'm going to be setting up. All right, so I have a minimum of 11 parks to set up, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this ahead of time in hammers. So I'm going to set up my log. So this is KD9 OLN at kilo 5690-2022 12. What's the date on Saturday? 10-IN. We're going to parks on the air, save, and then my park is going to be kilo 5690, and that automatically fills in the grid for the park. At the very least, I have the template ready. I'm going to do this for every single park. I'm not going to bore you with the setup. Just going to do this for every single park, and that way I have everything ready when I get to each park. The last bit of prep that I know of, at least based on my plan, is that I'm going to program my radio's voice keyer with every park on a memory. That way I don't destroy my voice by calling CQ Parks on the Air over and over. So CQ Parks on the Air, CQ Parks on the Air, CQ Parks on the Air, Kilo Delta Niner, Oscar Lima November. Calling CQ Parks on the Air, Park Kilo 5690, CQ, CQ, CQ. I have the first park done. I'm going to do this for all the parks through park number 8 because that's all I have available on the keyer for this radio. That's good enough, right? I'm going to get 8 parks out of 11, maybe 12, preloaded into here, and then once I'm at park number 9, what I'll do is I'll erase over the top of memory number 1, do it all over again for 9, 10, 11, and 12. I'm pretty sure that at this point in time, I have more than enough video that is gonna make this a 2-part. So I'm gonna say that this is part 1 and that the actual activation in the Rove is gonna be part 2. For now, thanks for watching. We'll catch you down the log 7-3.